All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Word with Ty Brownlow. I am your host, Ty Brownlow, and remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. Today, ladies and gentlemen, hey, we're running them back. The person next to me, no stranger to the show, please welcome Dr. Nooristani.
Good to be back. Good to be back. You look great as always. I know you're hitting the gym hard and you look marvelous.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And look here, man, it is good talking to you. We're going to talk a little bit about Balance 7 in a minute. But we're going to also talk about the nonprofits that you have and the areas that they serve. And I'm pretty sure you're going to wow us with some data. So we're looking forward to that as well. But first and foremost, let me just, let people know who you are, and maybe you can fill in the gaps. But Dr. Nooristani, licensed medical doctor, okay? He's been in practice for over 16 years, okay, out on the West Coast in California, all right? But he is also the CEO of Balance 7, and he also heads two nonprofits. We're going to talk about those in pretty much in a second, excuse me. But first and foremost, look, let's talk about Balance 7, okay? And last time you were here, we did feature Balance 7, but for those who may, be new to the show, all of our new viewers here, in case you haven't peeked the, conversation, you have a chance to do it right now. So, can you tell us a little bit about Balance 7 and its importance to the body?
Okay. Well, thank you for that introduction and long-winded one, but thank you. So let's talk about Balance 7. You said so. We talk a lot about how to keep our body in check. How we're gonna be healthy. What can we do to prevent the disease from happening? How do I maintain healthy? How do I maintain longevity? How do I take care of myself the best way possible? Going from the gym, watching what we eat, all that. All that is good, but your body, because where we live, because the type of food we eat, because what we drink, because of the pollution, because of the added sugar, because of the canned food, because of the meat, etc. The list goes on and on and on. The rate of every single disease in the world is going this way, right? Just keep on going up and up and up. Look at the amount of people who died from hypertension, diabetes, heart disease, cancer, all that. If you look at all the disease from a medical standpoint, they share one common element, and that's called acid. Really bad acid. All these things that I mentioned earlier, type of foods, causes increase in the acid load in your body, which is called metabolic acidosis. To be specific, chronic metabolic acidosis. Basically what it means, your body build up acid through time. And the time goes on, these dangerous buildup causes changes in the structure of the cell internally. You may all look good and full of energy, but internally you're deteriorating. And gets to a point where your body fails. When it fails, it causes all sort of disease, right? Your hypertension, diabetes, cancer, etc. So we know that that's a fact now. That's not even debatable about is it or is it not. So what can you do at any given age to transition from that acidic environment to more an alkaline or basic environment? That is the key. So it requires a lot of stuff. I'll tell you about it. But one of the things that we can do is supplements, things that could transform or expedite that process of transition from an acid to a base or alkaline environment to get you better. Now, there's nothing in the world that you can take and change things. So it's changing the habits, but yet adding on things to speed up that process. So we come up with the supplements called Balance 7. It is the highest pH, alkaline pH in the market. So if you take drinking water, which has a pH of 6 or 7, depending where you live, and now 11.2, 1,500 times is stronger than the drinking water, yet it's safe to consume. So when it hits your body, it does what it's supposed to do, increase the alkalinity or bring up that pH level to a level that is more safer environment for your cell to survive. Now, in conjunction with healthy diet, exercise, etc., it all adds up to transition you to better health. So it's an extremely the highest pH product in the market, period. There's nothing coming even close to it. Yet it's extremely safe. And the transformation is absolutely phenomenal. Now I'm still taking care of patient in ICU currently. I'm having my scrub on. So I see it live, what it does with my patient. Transformation is absolutely phenomenal. So I love it just so it's an extreme high pH concentrate. It's not a water. You don't drink a gallon of this a day. It's just 1 ounce 3 times a day. You'll be surprised how amazing it is. And there's a pathophysiology behind it as to why it works. And it's interesting. And we'll talk about it maybe next time because it goes in deep at cellular level. Well, why it changes.
Can I just say one thing? And ladies and gentlemen, I've had the pleasure of having samples of Balance 7 shipped to me, and I have tried it out, and I can tell you the man knows exactly what he speaks of. It took a couple of days, but I can definitely tell you by the 3rd day I was taking Balance 7, and I did take it to 3 times a day. I took it when I got up in the morning. I took it pretty much around mid-afternoon or what have you, like, maybe 1, 2-ish or what have you. And then I took it in the evening, probably about 8 or 9, usually. Yeah. It was usually around those times. And I can tell you by the 3rd day, I started noticing a little bit of a change. I can tell you by a week and a half, like my pep and my step was totally different. I do remember that. I know it's been a while, but I do remember that. So I'm so glad that you said what you said, because yes, it is true. You don't take it like water. You don't guzzle it down. It comes with a cap, and you just pour and take, as the good doctor said, 3 times a day. So it does work, ladies and gentlemen, and I can attest to that. So
3 days, magic number. And some people take a little longer, obviously, and you slowly see the change, and then slowly you build on it. I'll tell you a funny story about the taste of it. As you know, the taste is not like one of those, ooh, yummy, I need to get the whole gallon.
Exactly.
And it's not the tastiest drink, and that is a reason. There's a specific reason why I kept it that way. Now, can we make it taste better? Of course we can, but I have to add preservative, additive, and sugar. So some things to taste changes, so I didn't want. It's pure. But the most important part of it is that taste is so much related to your internal clock, your health. The worse it tastes, the worse your body's at, because it's also gauges the pH because of that high pH interaction with acid. So if your body's a lot of really acidic, it's like drinking coffee, have a couple glasses of wine, and then drink this. Watch, it's gonna be like tasting really bad. Like, oh my God, it's really strong, right? Mm-hmm. As time goes by, and you're adjusting your health, or you're adjusting your diet and exercise, and you're taking this, you will see that difference slowly, and all of a sudden it doesn't taste like anything. So I take it every day, and I know when I misbehave. My diet is bad. I eat junk food, coffee. I don't drink, but I need added, everything else, and I don't exercise. and that thing, the taste is just goes up and up and up, and it's bad. It gets bad. And then as soon as I'm back to my base and eating right and exercising and watching what I eat, and then now the taste changes. So it's a health gauge. I mean, what other product in the world could tell you where do you stand health-wise internally, right? I mean, there's just none.
Man, look, and that's what's so phenomenal about it, because, and it's really a shame. And I'm just going to say it, how we are talking about health. And sometimes in these markets, these gyms or what have you, they have, they promote health, but nothing they have in there is healthy, So like the Gatorades and the Powerades, those things contain sugars,
Might as well say, hey, here's a bag of sugar. Enjoy.
No, seriously, you might as well have a Starbucks, like a whole line of frappuccinos across, the border. Like, hey, here you go work out, because that's all you're promoting anyway. And that's what I don't understand. Like, when we're talking about true health, okay, at the end of the day, we're talking about true health. So, if I don't want to have like the, acidic buildup and, all of these things, and to the point where I am taking the Balance 7 and it's going to take me maybe 4 or 5 days to get used to this taste. Now, I'm just telling you what my body went through. Look, the taste was still bad for like almost a week. All right. But you can still go through the changes, because I still, also at that time I was eating. Yeah. But anyway, still, you notice the change. And as Dr. Nooristani said, once you combine Balance 7 with a healthy diet, then, you put the two together, the better you will become, the more energy you have, the more active you will be, the more like fast thinking and quick witted you will become, so can attest to it. Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. But I'm so glad that, you talked to us about Balance 7 and its importance, because a pH balance in the body is very important, and especially around these summer months, it's hot. I know it's been hot out there in California. We've experienced a couple of like days of like extreme heat here, and a couple more are coming. So yeah, people, let's keep that pH balance balanced.
And I just want to make sure that people understand this is not an alkaline water. So
yes,
they're alkaline, but this is not an alkaline water. They completely work in a different way in the body, and there's no relation to that. And this, once again, your drinking pH is about 8, pushing at 9. Some of these, but so it's in its own category of its own.
Balance 7, and we're going to talk about where they can get that in just a few. But I want to shift gears for a second, and I want to talk about your nonprofits. Okay, I see you there with the scrubs. You're in there working, putting in the work. Can you talk about the 2 nonprofits that you have, the names and the areas that they serve?
Okay. So in 2010, 2009 actually. So I graduated from medical school, finished my residency in Atlantic City, out of all the places. So I moved down to, back California, because that's where I grew up, and I live in a very affluent area, Central Coast. So my first year I was working at the hospital and emergency room, and I, keep on seeing people coming in, with a stroke, heart attacks, which is no big deal. That's what we see, but on a daily basis. But what made it so different was these people are coming at a younger age. in their 50s, which was shocking, to see that money at that age group. And people come in with diabetes, diabetic ketoacidosis, people come with stroke because of high blood pressure. And this, I mean, it's just like, what the hell is going on in this area? Is it the water? Rich area water?
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what the hell they're mixing with that? It can't be like everybody at this age is unhealthy, right? So I remember the last patient I had was a 48-year-old. I forgot the age, between 40 to 50. So I'm not I'm not I'm saying the truth about the ages. With 3 kids, he used to be a carpenter, and he lost his insurance, and he had high blood pressure only. And he said that he came in with a stroke. His pressure was over 220, and they come in. I said, "What's going on? How come you're doing? Why are you not taking your meds? Are you out of your mind? I mean, you're stroke. You have paralysis." I mean, at this age, he goes, "I'm sorry, I don't know what to do because I lost my insurance. I couldn't get to a doctor because I couldn't afford it, and I've been rationing my medication for a couple of months. Now it's been a month that I didn't have anything. I just couldn't go to a doctor and get my medication." So now we're talking about this young man with 3 kids, the sole provider for the entire family, broken out because you know what? He couldn't afford to go to a doctor to get medication. I said, "There's something this doesn't make sense." As a physician, it just didn't sit right with me. So I said, "Let me do some digging. Let me see what's going on." So I went online and started reading and researching like the insurance, why people don't have insurance, and being in just graduating from medical school, being ignorant of things and not understand, not knowing, right? So to me, it was like, okay, let me just at least research what's going on. You won't believe this number. I told you you're gonna be shocked. Here, you ready? 29% of people did not have insurance. That's at that time. 29%. And that was across the California. I think United States was somewhere between 29 to 30, between 25 to 30% uninsured. I couldn't believe it. 1 out of 3 doesn't have insurance. Really? I like what I'm just like scratching my head. I can't believe this. So I keep on digging numbers like that doesn't make sense. No way. No way, because we live in the richest country in the world. We spend the most in any country, like 10 out of 100 other countries combined, and we 30% don't have insurance. So lo and behold, that was true. Even the area where I live, a smaller town, but guess what? It's a similar problem. So I said, well, I got to do something about it. And I said, let me just create something for people who can afford to have a place, have a home to go to if they don't have money. So I created my first non-for-profit, which is a free clinic for anybody who have no insurance, free of charge. You pay 0. And it is just absolutely amazing time. We have seen it's open. It's been over a little 10 years that's been open. We have delivered over $60 million worth of free care. We have seen thousands and thousands of patients. We have saved thousands and thousands of lives. I could just tell you for a fact, not even just BSing about the numbers.
No.
And all of that is simple thing. Seeing somebody and giving them a prescription and saying, here's a $4 prescription plan, and I'm saving your life. It cost you $4. As a matter of fact, let me go in and get it for you. And we're done. So, and it was just absolutely amazing to see how busy we were, which I loved it, but it tells you what the needs are in the community. 30% is absolutely mind-boggling. And things slowly changed. Obviously, Affordable Care kicked in, etc. Now we're at 10%, right? But 10% is still a lot of people. And you told me you're going to get your master's in public health, so congratulations. But now these numbers are going to sink in a lot with you because you're going to be studying population and the problems. Mm-hmm. And that 10%, still 10%, is out of 100 people, 10 people have nowhere to go. And that doesn't even include the illegal immigrant that we have everywhere. and they have nowhere to go. That's not even part of statistics.
So,
Oh, go ahead.
well, no. So pretty much to your point, they have nowhere to go. And what we discussed a little bit earlier, and I'm going to present it. These things, they're known as resource deserts, rural deserts, food deserts, what have you. You can take your pick out of the three, but I'll go with resource deserts. No hospital within 1 to 2 miles. As far as supermarkets, no place to go within 5 miles. As far as schooling, it may be underfunded, very little resource or what have you. So, the people in the community may make, a certain amount, but still living in poverty, when we have these things and you don't have the health care and these numbers you are talking about, at first you were talking about 30%, now it's down to 10%. I wondered what the numbers were around the height of the pandemic.
So I thought pandemic was probably roughly about the same number. You're talking about 10 to 15% there. If California has a large number of illegal immigrant or had, don't know the number exactly now. So that number is 30 years ago. We're talking, I think, Affordable Care kicked in during Obama administration. So we're talking about a little while back. So here's what really happened during Affordable Care kicked in. Well, let me ask you, everything went from 30% to 10%. Do you think we got busier, or do you think that we were just empty, like things, because 1/3 of your population now didn't have that. Now you tell me which direction we went as far as patient. Did we see more patient or less patient?
No, you're seeing more patients.
Why do you think that is the next question.
Man, you're seeing more patients. Well, okay, you're talking about the Affordable Care Act. So, hey, look, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Got it.
Were there certain people who had insurance on their jobs but didn't want that insurance because they wanted to go with the Affordable Care Act because it was cheaper?
So no, so a few things happen. Affordable Care Act. Affordable doesn't mean it is affordable, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so not for everybody. Now, this country is designed. If you're poor, very, very poor, or very, very rich, you get everything, right? Because very poor get you're gonna get the medical, the sinkhole, the food stamp, you get the rent paid, everything is taken care of if you are in the bottom. Obviously, you're not gonna have the best life, but you have resources available to you. You're rich, obviously you got the money, you don't need anything. So the middle class is the one that are suffering the most. Now, if you look at those plans, right? The plans which really pisses me off, and I'll tell you about why it's so crazy nobody thinks about it, is the co-payments, there's deductibles. The cheapest one has $6,000 to $8,000 deductible, or the co-payment that goes along with it. A lot of people buy the insurance, they can't use the damn insurance because it's so expensive to go use it. Now, a lot of people had to get it because they were fined, right? If you can afford it, you don't buy it, you pay a fine, right? So we all of a sudden, I was like, oh my God, this is great. I'm going to shut down the clinic. We're done, because once again, it's a charity run. I don't get paid. All the physicians are donating their time. And it was a happy moment for me saying like, look, everybody has insurance. Great. We accomplished finally, the country got it, sort of, but then we saw an increase, and that was just crazy to see. And so this day, that trend continues, that there's a lot of people who cannot afford the insurance, and affordable is no longer affordable. Because if you're a small business owner, the margin is slim. But in the tax, when you write your tax, you show income. And they go by that, how much your income was. They don't say how much of that is your profit and how much of that you use on your living or your business, and whatever is remaining, let's talk about where's your income at that level. And the second thing is that the government has tried everything in their power, and they all talk about it, equality, right?
So, yeah.
We're all equal.
Yeah.
Well, I said that's the biggest bullshit you have given me.
Right.
As a physician, I just look at it. Let's think about it. And they think we are imbeciles and we don't understand. They say, we want equality, but I'm giving you insurance. But let's think about it. There's a silver, there's a gold, there's a platinum, and there's a bronze level, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what did the government just do? They categorized you. They decided for you where your worth is as a human being. Are you a bronze person or you're a platinum person? Like what is your health worth to you? Do you want to be in the bottom or top? So classes, right? They put you all of a sudden in specific classes, and they sell it under bullshit of, hey, you know what? You have a choice. It's your choice to choose which one you're gonna pick. Now, I'll look about it. Who in their right freaking mind wants to get a bronze if you can get a platinum? Right? If you have a choice, you go to a store. You're gonna get diamond or you're gonna get a bronze or whatever crap that nickel.
I'm gonna get diamonds.
You get diamonds, right? Why wouldn't you, right? If you had a choice to pick and everything is equal, and then they sell it, well, if you're young, you don't need it. How do you know I don't need it? I get hit by a bus. I get in a car accident. I develop cancer. I do this. Like, how would you say that you cannot guarantee me, yet you categorize me? You put me down. You give me a value less than what I think I should be worth it. And now you're selling me as an American, you're free to choose, free of choice. And here's your choices. No, that's bullshit. It's healthcare. Why do I have a choice? I want to get the best care. So give me the best care. End of story. There's no this, because guess what? People are here suffering because they can afford it. They can afford this one. Even the best plan, still there's co-payment and deductible. I pay $2,000 a month right now for me, my wife, and my daughter.
Wow.
And I have $10,000 deductible on top of that, and I have one of the best plans. So, I mean, we don't think about this because guess what? Because we are just bamboozled, literally.
Yeah.
Saying, we have insurance. We have insurance. Great. This is great. So, the point I was trying to make that, all these stuff happens, insurance and all these policies comes in, it's all to trick everybody. It's just, everybody's robbing everybody. That's how we're built, right? The whole country is built on making money, and it's great. If you know how to make money, those of us who don't, we suffer. And health is one of them. So what we did, clinic is very unique. We're the only clinic probably in the country that has this many services. And I'm going to list to you. So we provide free dental care. And you know how expensive that is.
Dental is very expensive.
And it's just not just pulling your teeth. So that's everything, A through Z of dental. We have beautiful vision clinic who provide you not only just with glasses, frames, which are expensive. These are all designer, nothing low cost or anything like that. These are all designer glasses. And we have ophthalmologists, optometrists, and subspecialists. We do minor surgeries like the cataracts, the glaucomas, diabetic retinopathy, etc. We have general surgeons that are donating their time to do minor surgery at their surgical center. We have neurologists, pulmonologists, nephrologists, podiatrists, physical therapists, nutritionists. We get free medication. We do free labs. We have blood work, CAT scan, MRIs, ultrasound, you name it. All of that is done for you for free. And all you have to do is you come in and you say, I don't have insurance. That's it. That's the only requirement. So once again, it is rare. It's rare to see what we do, how extensive we do at at that level. So I'm very proud of it because it has given the entire community a home. There's no reason now anybody comes in saying I have insurance, I have nowhere to go. It's like, nah, you have a free clinic. I don't want to hear that you couldn't go to a doctor. And guess what? That excuse is no longer exist in this community. It's free. It's open 5 days. You walk in, you get to be seen, and you don't have to pay. I'm open even we open initially Saturdays. Okay, so there's no excuse for you not to see your doctor. Now that is truly an amazing thing to have for the community, and we save millions and millions of dollars to the hospitals because we're preventing admissions. So fiscally, it's responsible for the communities to do this, right? It's the right thing for humanity. It is the right thing to do as individual for your brother, sister, your friends, family, neighbor, anybody that needs help. So the community has to be part of it, which has been part of this clinic for a very long time. The city has to buy in. So you create this project, which is absolutely everybody love, and it's rare in a community where people don't bicker about the project. And this is one of those that everybody loves, because guess what? Nobody makes money, right? We free deliver, and we, physicians are donating, providers donating their time. We have, at one time when I started, I interviewed 600 people. You're not gonna believe it. Over 2 years expand 600 volunteers. It's insane what we did before I started that. So, but it was not, let's say, a journey. Well worth it, and still continue to grow and provide the much needed services, including now mental health, which is so big, and that is huge that we're providing for the community. We're adding on to it. So it's been an amazing project. And about 2 years ago, I started working at another community called Lompoc, which is an hour from Santa Barbara, a very poor area. Mm-hmm. It's kind of sort of isolated. So same thing, I restarted the process. Unfortunately, under different circumstances, I would have expanded the clinic to that area, but where the board was geographically limited and they wanted to keep it for this community. So I had to restart the process from scratch, and I started a new clinic there. For Lompoc, and oh my God, talking about the need. I did more there in first 3 months than I did in SLO in 5 years. That's how busy that place is. We just opened 5 days, like we're 4 days. Usually I start half a day, like on the weekend to just ramp up. No, it was so busy that just I had to find resources to just we're open 4 days and we're full. Like every day it's just busy, but the concept is the same. So we're already seeing a few thousand people in a very short period of time, and it's crazy to see it because there's a lot of farm worker at that part of where I work, a lot of farm worker, and these poor people haven't seen a physician in 20 years, 10 years, 15 years. I see people from all ages, from 18 to 9, and like I had 80-something-year-olds who were undocumented. 80-something wasn't seen physicians. Like, it's just crazy what I see. But one of the services we also offer there is trying to see if we could enroll these people in the programs. And that becomes the key because, once I wanted to have a program, because California laws are a lot more lax compared to other states when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to benefits. So it's adopting more and more and more now. At least California has been proactive with some of that. So now, these people above age of 50, I think 52 or so, is eligible for, like a SenCal Medi-Cal, like an Affordable Care Act sort of package. But anybody, even if you're undocumented, you get to get insurance and without hassle. So I think I have created some of that. So we offer those programs, trying to get as many people as we can, enroll them so they have a physician to go to see, so we could provide that services. So, things that I see there is just absolutely heartbreaking. to just see, diabetes and hypertension, high cholesterol, heart disease are so common that, every day there's a new person coming in that, don't have insurance.
Well,
Um, uh,
and let me just say here, I mean, because we're a little pressed for time, but
yep.
let me just say the work that you're doing, especially in that area, because as you said, it was just off to the side, resource, under resource or what have you. And I mean, you're seeing people who haven't seen a physician in 20 plus years. Okay. And a whole community of people now. All right. Not just one, but a whole community of people. So yes, the work is valuable, very valuable. And let me just say for the record, that is humanitarian work at its finest. I'm sorry, and that's not to take away from anybody who does, anything else or what have you, but to offer your services, free, to a whole community. Also trying to get them signed up for other services as well, because there will come a time where they may need these other services. We may not be able to provide everything, but that is, I'm sorry, doctor, that is humanitarian at its finest, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We got to get back. We all have I'm a strong believer. And one day, I know I'm going to be asked, what did you do with the gift that I granted you? And I want to be able to say, I did my part, and that's all. It's all worth it. So no matter what, no matter how much time and energy and effort that it requires to create things like that and continue it, there's such a force behind me and the guidance that is just unbelievable. The stories and that comes up, I have witnessed, and miracle that I have witnessed and through people in the last 10 15 years is absolutely mind-boggling phenomenon. I have zero explanation. I'll tell you, when was last time somebody gives you a $10,000 cash and saying, hey, I understand, I know what you're doing, here it is. Let me just write you, a tax write-off. Let me just write your name. No, it's for a good cause. Take it. I mean, I walk on the street, people have given me cash and checks. It's just one of those craziest things, and how, because, these things requires a lot of money to, sustain the back end of it. So raising funding that is challenging. It's ongoing, but that challenge comes, how you raise the capital for it, sustain it for a long period of time, because even though physicians are donating their time, but everything else costs. You still have to hire people. You still have to run it. You still have to make sure that you pay the bills for hospitals for doing the services, etc. But nonetheless, it's just been a miracle work, and a lot of people are being part of that. The community is part of it. So it's been a blessing for me personally, and I know everybody else that's been involved. So,
well, look, keep doing the good work. Keep improving the community, because you're making a difference. As you said, you're walking down the street, people are like handing you money. I mean, anytime that happens, you're doing a good job. Right? But
it's so beautiful. You know what it is? I've always said, I take myself from financial mean of it, anything. I don't deal with it. I said, I'm not getting paid. I'm not in any shape or form taking a penny whatsoever, except I spend my own money to start all this. So that is beautiful. It is so pure that people saying, I had a gentleman said, you have been spending an hour explaining this to me, and I could only afford $50. As a physician, I think if you could just work 1 hour, you would have made, 10 times more. So why are you here asking me for like $20 that I might or may not give you? I said, but, people like you, the $10 to $20 a month is more important than people like me donating a few $1,000s, because guess what? I might not be here one of me may not be here tomorrow, but 100 and 1,000 of you will always be here. And that support, those little support, makes a huge difference for the community. And I think so that model, that motto has really worked, and people have gone behind it, and the success of it has depended on that.
So look, if people want to learn more about you, because I know you've been on TV, you've been on Good Morning America, you've been, on, I know you've been featured in a Wall Street Journal plus other stages. But I mean, if people want to follow you, social media, maybe email, website, what have you, how can they?
Oh, there's a bunch of them. So for the clinics, to get information is SLO Noor Foundation, NOOR Foundation.org, SLONoorFoundation.org. The second clinic is in Lompoc at Savvy Health, SAVIE Health.org. And that is, so those are the two non-for-profit. People could just go in, and then if they want to make a tax-deductible donation, whatever it is, they could do that. It's a tax write-off. It's 501(c)(3) organization. And then if you want to follow me with Balance 7, it's at Dr. Nooristani with the TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, etc. We're working on a couple other brand that I will talk to you about maybe next episode related to your skin health, because nobody's paying attention to that. And this new design of product is just transformational. You got to find out about that. Those are absolutely new product that is going to change the health of your skin. So now internally I'm going to transform you, but I'm also going to externally making sure that you're going to have a beautiful skin. I don't know I could do anything with you. Your skin looks flawless.
Stop it, Doc. Hey, look here. I can always use the improvement. No. Anyway, get out of here. No. Look, I have enjoyed this conversation. Every time I talk to you, I always learn something new. And, I just value that. And I just value, you being our doctor here on Word with Ty Brownlow. So let me just extend you those flowers there, sir.
Thank you so much, Ty. Thank you. I appreciate your word of wisdom. I thank you for the compliment. And I really enjoy listening to you and bringing in different topics and highlighting things that normally get ignored. So much needed. And I'm looking forward to getting your master and PhD, and I want to work with you on one of these projects for sure. Coming down.
Oh yeah. We'll talk about that in a second. All right. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Word with Ty Brownlow. I've been your host, Ty Brownlow. Remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. You can follow me all social media platforms, Word with Ty Brownlow. You can go to my website, tybrownlow.com. Get this wonderful conversation, plus other conversations as well. Dr. Nooristani, thank you. We out.
Thank you.